Hey guys, what is up? AwesomeTheSauce here. Hope you guys are having a great day. Today, we're going to be talking about the first preview of the spell audit that's coming in Test Realm. So if y'all don't know, there are a lot of spells in Wizard101 that went through an audit previously, but there's a lot that were left behind. And now we have our first hit as to how they're going to change a lot of these spells. It's looking a little crazy because these are spells that are really related to the Beast Moon spellments and the spells that are lore spells. But because they haven't been audited, they're basically ripe for picking when it comes to changing them. And what we've seen so far is kind of wild. So we're gonna get right into it. The first thing that you see is what Brimstone Revenant might look like in a new audited form. I'm in live realm right now, so Brimstone, it looks like the thing that you've always seen, the thing that we all know and love. It's just a 4-pip spell that does 470 damage, 25 trap. You can upgrade it with spellments, it can do a lot more. But what was leaked basically from the devs themselves is that they're gonna be reforming Brimstone Revenant to require 1 pip and 1 school pip. And what's very interesting is, unlike the spells in Novas, which require, you know, a school pip that's of a school that you're not. For example, right, as a fire, I would need a mid school pip to use my fire spell, Glimpse of Infinity. These have the same school pip as the spell that they are. And if you're wondering why they're doing this, a lot of lore spells are actually like pretty severely overtuned, and this is just something you might have noticed. It's really the reason why you see Balance's lore spamming. It's the reason that you see Life's Luminous spamming. And then there's some even more flagrant examples like Headless Horseman, which basically hits like a Kraken on a Death Wizard. Basically, for the pip cost, they do more than they should be doing, and basically the past rationale for that is that they're hard to get. You have to farm for them. You have to, like, you know, it's like a challenge to get it compared to normal spells, so you're rewarded in terms of how much it does for its pips. But now you're rewarded in a different way. You're basically given the same tools that you've always had, but now there's school pips added onto them to justify their effect. So you should probably consider each school pip essentially worth 3 pips. It's basically just slightly better than a power pip because you have to wait a little longer than a power pip. So Brimstone requiring 2 pips and a school pip means that this was doing about 5 pips of value for a 4-pip spell. And honestly, you really don't have to take my word for it. Like, if you look at any fire spell, you'll notice that the damage per pip for fire is about, give or take, about 105 per pip. And what you'll notice is that Brim does quite a bit more than that, and it adds a 25 trap, which is a huge increase in tempo. So it's doing at least 5 pips of value on a 4-pip spell. And there are spells like Luminous, Lord Master Headless that do even more than that. So they're trying to balance them by using school pips instead of, I guess, nerfing them. And honestly, I do like that because nerfing always feels like the player is getting something taken away. What this is one, an actual use for same school pips, which we actually didn't have a use for in Test Realm up to this point. And also a very, very convenient way to audit spells so that they don't become OP and spam. This also means that when you're using spells that are higher utility because they're lore spells, even spells like Lore Master, spells like Ninja Piglet, spells like Savage Palm, these are all spells that do a lot more than they really should be doing for the school. Now, honestly, it should be very easy to do them. It's just going to be harder to spam them. That's really the idea behind this. Let's say that I set my deck to getting balanced school pips so I can use Lore Master, so I can use Savage Paw. Every 2 times I Lore Master, I might be losing like a round, maybe 2, when it comes to gaining that extra balanced school pip. This is assuming that they're going to use every lore spell, they're going to put school pips, but that's kind of obvious, right? Brimstone being very tame for, you know, how it does more damage than it should do for its pip cost. I think it's very likely that we'll see Lore Master requiring a balanced school pip and 2 pips. I think it's very likely that we'll see Samurai costing a balanced school pip and 3 pips. I think this is very, very likely. What I am very excited to see is, are they just going to add school pips for spells that they think are OP, or are they also going to tackle things that are not school identity? And if you think that changing spells is out of the view of this update, I have news for you because there's another leak that accompanied the Brimstone leak. What you see on your screen right now is actually the Test Realm Infernal Salamander that's going to be coming out probably in the next week of Test Realm. And what you notice is, compared to Live Realm, not only have the rounds increased, but the actual symbol looks different. And that's because now Infernal Salamander will be a 4-round overtime. Keep in mind, it's only a 3-round overtime right now, and it's going to be protected. So the spells that aren't main school spells or lore spells, they could also be changed in this update. A protected overtime on a fire is huge. That means it can't be shifted. It means it can't be krakened. On the flip side, you can't use manipulation tactics like extending it, which honestly is not a huge part of the meta right now, but you know, it is something to note that it does come with some drawbacks, although I think protected damage is always amazing, right? I mean, if you can use it well, you're going to be doing very, very good damage. Like now, a protected overtime means that Fire has the best overtimes in Test Realm right now. There's even talk of overtime gambits like Scion being lowered in damage a little bit and lowered in pip cost because they're so much harder to set up than shield-based gambits. So what I'm trying to say is the Brimstone and the Infernal Salamander is concrete evidence that there's going to be new spell changes, but there's a lot of spell changes that could be coming, including maybe certain lore spells, which is what I'm kind of excited to see. I hope spells like Catalan and Fomori and Goat Monk and like spells like that just do like weird mantles or like really weird things that kind of really don't do much for the school. I hope they really go more into school identity. It'd be cool if spells like Lord of Night actually got a change so that it's not just a weird infection trap. Like, that's such a weird thing to have on a lore spell. This is obviously very early in the process, but I did want to talk about the fact that fire is getting a protected overtime and that Brimstone is the first of potentially many spells that are getting school pips added onto them. And what I really like about the same school pip edition is that now you really do have to choose between your own school pips and off school pips. What that means is that it might not really be in your favor to switch from one school pip to another. If you're really trying to use your school's best spells, it might very well be that you might need a lot of your own school pips. So now there's a real risk to not running your own school pips, and there's a real reward maybe if you go into the dual school route and really find a way to play around your opponent. I'm a huge fan of this, mainly because if not for needing your own school pips, you could always just pack the best Rochambeaus like Jin's Vexation, like Putrefaction, just pack a few of them and just switch over to those whenever you go against a school that you can use them against, and it would just be like a ping pong. And I think having spells that are not just the new Nova spells require school pips for hitting, I feel like that will make it so that maybe there's a little bit more, you know, harmony when it comes to how often you're switching and stuff like that. I will be testing out this for the whole week of Test Realm next week, so I hope you guys are ready. Make sure you drop a sub, turn on noties, do not miss those streams, y'all. There's gonna be a lot of things to test, so I'm very excited about it. This is a first preview of the spell audit that's coming in Test Realm. Let me know what y'all's opinions are about Infernal Salamander, about Brim, about lore spells, even about the overtime stuff with Scion. Let me know what you guys think. As always, if somebody hasn't told you you're awesome today, they doing something wrong, so stay awesome. And yeah.